Well, Amanda, you have really found yourself in a very, very unique situation, haven't you? A very unique situation, a situation that you could have easily found yourself out of, mind you, but you found yourself in it. You mean to tell me that there were so many opportunities in just this part one reunion, which has me real worried for you, girl, with part two and part three coming in the next 2 weeks. But there were so many times in this part one reunion that he had an opportunity to speak up and defend you, defend himself, defend the both of you, speak up in general and say something. And he didn't. Was quiet as a church whore mouse. You need to go to church, but you know what I mean. Quiet as hell. And yet the man across from you, who you were married to at one point, who you spent 10 years of your life with, actually wants to stick up for you and is actually itching to just say something in your defense, but also knows that he's not in that place anymore and he doesn't actually need to be doing that. If anyone needs to be doing that, it should be this piece of shit right here. For the most perfect example, the last 30 seconds of the part one reunion where Ciara literally says, hey, maybe actually Amanda is right for Wes, because Wes does need someone who is very mute and weak-minded and won't check you on things and actually will make you the star of the relationship. And Wes looks over and nods his head and doesn't say anything to defend you. Doesn't say anything to say, hey, that's fucked up. Don't say that about her. She's not weak. Doesn't say any of that. But you want to know who does? The man next to Ciara. But let's go through the timeline real quick that we were given in this part one. And shout out to Gibson for putting this all in one thread so it's easy to just go down the list. Wes and Amanda claim that their first kiss was on March 1st and that they did not sleep with each other until after March 31st. Now, I have a 100% credible, reliable source that can tell you, because they told me in the room yesterday while watching this reunion, that they were actually caught in bed with one another by one of Wes's friends a week before that brunch on March 1st. Plus, we all saw in the beginning of the episode where Mia said that at the very least, it would have started second week of January or second to last week of January. So it's crazy that we're coming into the reunion, which is meant to be the day that you air it all out, that we finally get to the truth, that you decide to spread more lies. As opposed to these two on the other side of the room that came into this reunion locked in, ready to go, and prepared for those two. To tell Ciara in the first 10 minutes or so to fuck off for this reunion, you telling Ciara to fuck off is crazy when you've been fucking on Wes. But you know what, Amanda? I think that you saying to fuck off is expected, though, because so far in this reunion, I don't get the sense that you actually feel bad, that you actually care, that you hurt some of those people on the other side of the room. I haven't gotten the feeling yet that you feel bad about anything, actually, because you're having giggle moments in the dressing room with Wes after you're done talking to Andy. Your only concern was coming into this reunion to clear up timelines and rumors. You can't say clearing up the rumor, because the biggest rumor was you two having any type of romantic involvement with one another. And now that we know that that's not a rumor anymore, it is the truth. Nothing else is a rumor anymore. It's just speculation and just confusion, if anything. Like, we're confused how you could do this to Ciara. We're confused how you could go from a DJ to a podcaster. We're confused why you came to this reunion with a ponytail that's also in a bun. The only thing I wasn't confused about was the color of your dress, in fact, being butter yellow. Shout out to you, Lindsay Hubbard. What is more important? What is more important? Having sex or an emotional connection? Thank you. Mother Hubbard has already been activated in just part one. I can't even begin to think what's about to come out of her mouth for part two and part three. And I'm excited that I can't even think about what's going to come out of her mouth. Because we know from Andy himself that she was very much involved in this reunion when it comes to the questioning even. And you know what's good about Lindsay is she could honestly be a good reunion host if she could also figure out a way to not be biased in situations. Like, she was basically the reunion co-host in a way for this part one reunion. And she was asking questions that, like, I wanted to know the answers to. Carl, I was not expecting to be impressed with you during this reunion. I don't really know what I was expecting from you in this reunion other than you being a mess, of course. But you impressed the hell out of me this reunion, especially when you were like, that statement was like singing happy birthday to somebody but not putting their name in it. Plus, it's been pretty clear, especially in the past couple months, that Carl does not fuck around when it comes to Ciara, okay? He loves and cares about that girl a hell of a lot. Also, did anyone catch, I can't remember what specific part, but when they were talking about how Amanda's only been hanging out with Wes lately, how that's only been her only friend outside of Katie Jaluka, even Carl was like, some of your close friends have even been saying out loud publicly that you have not seen them in a while. So we know all you've been doing is hanging out with Wes and his friends. Sober Carl is tea. Now, out of all the things that we heard in this part one reunion, in my opinion, the biggest shock to me was them saying that their first time having sex was after the statement. If that is true, let's just say that's true, that the first time he stuck that thing that we've all unfortunately seen into her patoola after the statement. What type of Hallmark shit is this? But someone on Threads caught that, if you remember from those 3 leaked audios, in one of the audios, Amanda says that before the statement was released, a reason for it was because there was this alleged video of Amanda and Wes in an intimate setting. So if they did not have sex until after the statement, they were obviously doing something intimate with one another that has to be outside of kissing and ear stuff. For it to be so bad that Amanda would have to think there is a video of something that they've already done together in a private setting. Like, let's just say it wasn't sex. Let's say it was, oral stuff. That is still just as bad. Something that really irritated and just irked my soul was anytime Wes thought that he could just laugh along with the guys or with just the group whenever something was funny. Like the cutout conversation with Lindsay giving, was it Carl or Kyle, a cutout hand job. You don't get to laugh at this. Shut up. Also, if Sierra is Princess Leia, then you're Gollum, motherfucker. And you're just a snake in the grass. One other thing, I was so confused when we were in the dressing room and Kyle was talking about how he was bottoming out and how Sierra had no idea how much he was bottoming out. As a gay man, I was very confused. But I think that meant rock bottom, like hitting rock bottom. But that's a different phrase over here in my community. All in all, though, fantastic part one reunion. Exceeded any expectations that I had and more. I am itching and scratching and crawling my way to next Tuesday, which is also going to be the start of Love Island. These next 2 Tuesdays, you guys, with Love Island USA and part 2 and part 3 of Summer House are going to be stacked. So just be prepared now. And I leave you all with this. What did y'all think?